Okay, so the other day I saw Weapons. Now, this movie's been getting some really rave reviews across the board. I mean, people have really been treating this thing like it's better than sliced bread, and I hate to be that guy. But even though I liked this movie, I didn't love it. I didn't think it was great, but I thought it was really, really good. Just from the opening alone, I was hooked into this movie, and I was really, really curious to see where it would go. And there were actually a few twists and turns that I wasn't expecting at all. I mean, in the sense of the twists and turns, I wouldn't say it's the same level as Barbarian, which is the film that Zach Cregger made before this, but it still did a great job of being able to have those twists and turns that were truly unpredictable. Another thing I have to just glaze as much as possible is the performances in this movie, because wow, they were just next level. The actors really are just giving it their all and add so many thick layers of depth to these characters. And I have to glaze Judy Garner the most, because she is just really one of the best actresses of our time. And don't tell anyone I told you this, but she's kind of hot. Speaking of hot, Josh Brolin was also giving a really Josh Brolin was also giving a really great performance. I mean, it's no secret that he can act his ass off too, but he is just a standout here as well, and I enjoyed watching his character too. Alden Solo, I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm just going to call him that, I also thought was just great as the character he was playing, and was a surprise standout of the movie. Like, yes, I've only seen him in Solo and Cocaine Bear, and I didn't think he was particularly fantastic in those movies, so it's good to see that he is good when he's given like genuinely good scripts to work with. It goes without saying too that the mystery element of this movie is really, really well done. Not everything was properly explained by the end, but the movie does it in a way where you're able to pick up the pieces and just clue things together in your mind and think, oh, that's how that glues together, that's how that glues together. And that kind of experience, I think, is a bit more fun than a movie that just explains everything to you and doesn't leave anything in question. Okay, so there's something about this movie I kind of forgot to mention for some reason completely, so I'm gonna add it here. But this movie's more of a drama comedy than it is a horror movie. Like, obviously it is a horror movie. No, it's more of a drama with a lot of dark comedy mixed in there, and it's really funny as well. Forgot to mention that completely. One final thing when it comes to the positives, it's just the ways that Cregger directs his movies. I really, really love. He manages to do this thing at times where, and I'm not trying to sound pretentious, but at times he makes the camera not feel like a camera, makes it feel like a character in itself. Again, I'm not trying to sound pretentious at all, but it's true. He does just have a really great eye for visuals, especially during the more action-based and horror-based scenes. I mean, genuinely, he is next level when it comes to the way his movies looks. And if he was to make a movie for the DCU, I'd be all open, because it'll be well written and well shot. Anyway, unfortunately, I'm going to be a bit negative now and go to, well, the negatives. And if I'm honest, there's not a lot I avidly disliked, but from what I did dislike about the movie, it made it go from what would have been a great movie to just a good movie. And first off, the movie has a pretty wild structure and pacing along with it, which in itself wasn't the issue. I had no issue at all with how they decided to structure this thing, and it's something I was actually really digging, and I wish more horror movies would take that kind of creative route of how they decide to structure it, until you get into about, I'd argue, a quarter into it, and it just kind of loses steam completely. Or I'd argue about 20 minutes, and after that it takes kind of a while to put its foot back in the right place, if that makes sense, and the movie just starts feeling uneven, like really uneven. It eventually manages to pick itself up again, but it takes a while is what I'm saying. It plays out much more like a book than it does a movie, which isn't the issue, but the issue is that to do that, you have to make sure more than ever that you don't waste any time. And this movie does unfortunately at times feel like it takes way too long to get to its points. I also personally thought all the answers to the big mystery in this movie wasn't bad, and did end up having a really satisfying payoff. It definitely did make me kind of wish it was a little bit different. But look, at the end of the day, like I said, I really, really like this movie. It is a really special movie, even if I don't think it's great. If you were to ask me if I preferred it to Barbarian or not, I'd say they're probably both the same level for me, and I'm going to give Weapons a 7 out of 10.